ويتعرض للتعذيب. أكتر من أداة للتعذيب. أكتر من أداة، يعني تعليم من الإيد والرجل، صعق بالكهرباء، صعق بالكهرباء في أماكن حساسة من الجسم، تعليم من الإيد والرجل عريان، تعليم من الإيد كده في عمود ويفضل واقف طول الليل.
Today, anyone who speaks out against Egypt's authorities is at risk. Tens of thousands of people have been arrested and detained on terrorism-related charges.
The officer asked me about my name, and I told him, Islam is Sayyid Mahfouz Khalil, and you probably arrested me by mistake, and you think I'm a different person.
People of Egypt have spoken, their voices have been heard, and Egypt will never be the same.
Since the fall of Hosni Mubarak and the rise and fall of Mohammed Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood, today Egypt is facing an unprecedented human rights crisis. Since the election of President Sisi and the appointment of Interior Minister Magdi Abdel Ghaffar in March 2015, the Interior Ministry has used counter-terrorism as an excuse to kidnap citizens, torture them, and subject them to periods of enforced disappearance. In the case of the Khalil family, Islam, his brother Noor, and their father had their home stormed by security forces from Egypt's Interior Ministry. The three of them were then taken to the National Security Agency in Tanta, where they were interrogated, and Islam was singled out for torture. After 4 days, Noor, who was the original target of the security forces, was released.
أنا اللي فيه مشكلة ما بيني وما بين الدولة، لأن أنا كنت بعرض الدولة في وقت من الأوقات. فكان غريب جدا إن هم يعتقلوا والدي وأخويا في اليوم ده ويخرجوني أنا الأول.
Islam and his father were then transferred to a sub-department of the National Security Agency in Tanta Riot Police Camp. Noor said his father was only arrested to intimidate the brothers. He was released, but Islam remained detained.
تقريبا كان يوم 9/7 تم نقله من معسكر الأمن المركزي للإسلام بيسميه الجحيم اللي هو مبنى الأمن الوطني في فازولي.
The officer ordered another low-ranking officer to bring the device. I could hear the electric taser, and I was trying to get away from the sound. I felt a strong current across my body, and I screamed again.
ما ظهر بعد 122 يوم اختفاء قسري. شعر إسلام كان طويل جدا، دقنه كانت طويلة أول ما ظهر قدام النيابة.
After the detainee confesses, they're dragged before a prosecutor by the National Security Agency. The agency also prepares a report which falsifies the date and location of arrest and contains the confession which has been extracted under torture. When Islam appeared before the prosecutor, he was denied access to a lawyer. His family were barred from the proceedings, and the prosecutor used the confession tortured out of him by the security forces. Islam now faces charges of inciting violence, attempting to overthrow the government, and belonging to the banned Muslim Brotherhood movement. The charges may lead to the death penalty.
ليه يحصل الإسلام ده أو يحصل لأي مواطن اللي حصل الإسلام ليه 122 يوم يفضل موجود داخل أماكن هو ما يعرفش، بيتنقل من مكان لمكان هو ما يعرفش المكان ده.
Egypt's criminal justice system has totally backed the crackdown on the government's critics and political opponents. The problem is prosecutors who are accepting clearly falsified evidence and confessions obtained under torture. It's time to eradicate enforced disappearances in Egypt once and for all. We're calling on Egypt's president to set up an inquiry headed by national and international experts to investigate the gross human rights violations by the security forces and to bring those responsible to justice.